as I read it, meron po tayong 165 billion na utang na pinasok natin sa 6 loans agreement. Would you agree with this? Kasi kanina parang confused kami. Tama po ba na ang utang po natin is 165 billion pesos?
Magkano ba talagang utang natin?
Hindi ako,
Please lang, once and for all.
Madam Chair, kung pagbabasihan itong sinabit nyo na hindi naman ito galing sa amin, kundi galing sa inyo,
Oo, bakit ba tayo
at
nagkakagulo?
ito ay lumalabas sa 165 billion pesos with a different
Yes.
loan numbers, ha? 6 loan, different
So,
numbers,
sino po ba ang sasagot?
Please answer. Ang problem dito kasi, 165 billion na yung loan natin. Tapos, sa GAA, naglagay pa tayo ng 42 billion. So, yung 42 billion that we
Plus
put
pa yun.
in the Department of Health, iba pa po yun
Yes.
na nilagay po natin.
That is correct.
So, in other words, umaabot tayo ng 200 billion pesos. Almost ang nilagay natin pera for the... Walang problema po, walang problema. If this is correct, ang problem lang po, wag po natin siyang itago or wag po natin siyang gawing parang wala tayong alam na iba-iba po ang binabanggit po natin dito sa Kongreso. Madam Chair, that's the reason why dumami yung COVID cases natin eh. Lahat ng mapupunta sa mga ospital, ang sinasabi nila, just to get, para makakuha lang po sa PhilHealth, nung tinatawag po natin na babayaran nila, ang nangyayari, kahit hindi siya COVID, ginagawa na siyang COVID para makakuha siya sa PhilHealth. That's what was happening on the ground during that time eh. Kasi nga, hindi klaro yung policy that was initiated by the PhilHealth. But anyway, totoo naman talaga that it was a noble case that hit us, and that's the reason why. But that has not negate our responsibility on our Republic Act 9148, and even our former secretary and the former PhilHealth, even our justification is that this is a noble case and we haven't experienced things like this. Yung pong ating pong responsibilidad sa ating pong government procurement and policy board, and at the same time yung ating procurement act, we cannot run away from that. Anyway, so ang tanong ko lamang po sa PhilHealth uli, ano, kasi may nabasa ako tungkol sa inyong what do you call that? The ransomware hacking. Na doon sa ransomware hacking ninyo, were you able to correct the problem already? And the people responsible for not protecting the interest of our personal information of the I think more than 13 million members?
Madam Chairperson, Honorable Representative Fernandez, we confirm that there was a hacking incident in PhilHealth sometime in September 22 or thereabouts 2023, and after a week after that, PhilHealth was able to up or turn on its system again for the public. Madam Chairperson, Honorable Representative
But
Fernandez.
there was a person or people responsible for non-renewal of the what do you call that? The protection software licenses. 'Di ba? Hindi tayo nakapag-renew. Is that correct?
Madam
So,
Chairperson, Honorable Representative Fernandez, at present, investigation is being conducted by the National Privacy Commission, and I confirm that statement, Madam Chairperson, Honorable Representative Fernandez, that we were not able to...
who is responsible for paying our dues on a yearly basis? Because this is, ano to eh, ministerial to eh, babayaran mo to eh. You have to pay this in a yearly basis because this is a protection. 13, ang babayaran mo is, I think, we have to pay like, something like 14 million a year for the antivirus software licenses.
Madam Chairperson, Honorable Representative Fernandez, right now, I do not have the exact amount as to how much we pay for the yearly subscription for the antivirus, but we'll provide the committee.
Nandun sa news yun,
such data.
attorney. Nabasa ko lang sa news. And you have to confirm that. Ngayon, ang tanong ko, sino nga yung hindi nagbayad? Because we have to take responsibility in all the actions that we are taking eh. So, sino ngayon sa PhilHealth, correct, sa PhilHealth, ang hindi nagbayad nung dues natin? And that's the reason why naging at stake yung ating 13 million to 20 million people that are members of our PhilHealth. May kasama ako dun eh. Kasama ka din dun. Oh, so, nakakatakot yung ginawa nyo, ha? So, sino?
Madam Chairperson,
Yes.
Honorable Representative Fernandez. So there was a failure of bidding, and because of the failure of the bidding, we were not able to renew the antivirus on time, Madam Chairperson. And this bidding is being conducted by the business process owners itself or the end users, particularly the information management sector, Madam Chairperson, Honorable Representative
Okay.
Fernandez.
Which is headed by?
This is headed, the information management sector is headed by Jovita Aragona, Madam
Ayan,
Chairperson.
si Obita Aragones na naman. Yan ang kasama namin sa investigation during that time. Oh, Siya ang head sa IT during that time that we are procuring that ISSP that we were talking about a while ago. So, hindi na naman binayaran yung yung license for antivirus. Oh, so Madam Chair,
And
I
Honorable-
really don't want to invite anybody
and
from the
Honorable
PhilHealth.
Fernandez,
Yes.
hindi nyo pa tinatanong kung ano naging full implication ng hindi pagbayad niyan. Because na-realize ko na ilang buwan na naging down ang IT system ninyo. Because I attempted to do enrollment of applicants en masse. At nasabihan ako nung bandang March na hindi daw pwede kasi naka-down pa ang system ninyo as a result of this. So, ano yung full implication nito? Para lang malaman namin kung as a result of itong negligence ni Jovita Aragona. Ito
Aragones.
whatever.
Aragones.
Ito ang nangyari po.
Madam Chairperson, Honorable Representative Fernandez, so after the incident, we turned off the whole system of PhilHealth so that no more hacking attempts will push through. And after a week, Madam Chairperson, we were able to turn on the system again. So we were assisted by the Department of Information and Communication Technology on this matter, Madam Chairperson. So it was only about a week that our system was down,
So,
Madam Chairperson.
what are the penalties that was meted out by the PhilHealth?
Wait.
Sige,
Honorable Fernandez, I'm not sure that we're being very honest, sir, because I am very sure that we attempted to enlist many of my constituents by group. At ang sagot sa akin is, and this was first quarter of this year, at ang sagot sa akin is hindi pa po pwede as a result of this, itong hacking na nangyari noong August of 2024. Unless ang nagsisinungaling sa akin yung taong yon, sir.
Madam Chairperson, if I may, we will formally submit a report that indeed our system was turned on a week after
No,
the
pero
incident.
meron bang ibang functions ang na-impair as a result of this? Yun yung tanong. Kumbaga, anong functions ang na-impair? Yes, it's possible naman na inon nyo ulit. Pero as a result of this, may ibang functions nga ang na-discarrel. Yes,
Madam
sir.
Chairperson, if I may, from time to time, Madam Chairperson, we turn off our system due to optimization or patching, Madam Chairperson. Probably that's the time that you are referring to, Madam Chairperson, but not particularly as a
As a result
consequence
of that.
of that
So you
cyber
still
attack.
deny? Okay, so meaning you still say that isolated pa rin yun? Doon sa week lang na yun? So, yes, sir.
Madam Chairperson, probably it is a consequence of that cyber attack, but I cannot say for sure, Madam
Okay, so
Chairperson.
just please submit the full IT report so that it's for us to evaluate. Yes, Honorable Dan,
As simple as
please.
this, Madam Chair, at siyempre yung 13 million to 20 million ng mga Pilipinos that was exposed to that hacking incident that happened during that time, hawak na nila ngayon yung data about you, about me. At kung meron doon about dun sa mga personal medical problems that we have, kaya ka na nilang what do you call that, i-ransom about, yun na nga ginawa sa inyo, nira-ransom kayo, di ba, $300 to $400 million where they were asking para lang ipampalit doon sa personal data that we are part of, di ba? And that's the reason why yung pong antivirus is so important for us to be protected. But the government is not doing the protection that is mandated to them to do. And that's the reason why I'm asking this. But at any rate, umiiwas lamang si Attorney Santos and I congratulate you, magaling kang umiwas. Pero tandaan mo yung pag-iwas, may hangganan yan. So, kasi yung automation ninyo, no, yung automation ninyo na ginagawa din sa system ninyo, kanina may binabanggit si Chairwoman yung 89.9 billion that was over-collected. Di ba? Over-collection yung 89.5 billion doon sa mga mandatory ng PhilHealth, di ba? Dalawa yan mandatory saka non-mandatory. Yung non-mandatory, yung mga informal workers, yung mga ganyan. Yung mga formal workers, sila naman yung merong yung mandatory na magbabayad, di ba? So ngayon, nag-over-collection kayo. So what are ang ginagawa ninyo para maibalik yung part na hindi dapat na kolekta? What are the features that you are doing to give back yung pera na sobrang nakolekta? Wala po ba kayong klase kasi automated na tayo, di ba? So, wala bang kategorya that once that you have overcollected, automatic, balik sa iyo yung pera? Walang ganon?
Madam Chairperson, Honorable
Yes,
Representative
COO.
Fernandez, we do not have that system at present, Madam Chairperson, that in the event there is an excess fund
Yes,
to PhilHealth, it does not automatically revert to the national government.
Kasi
Madam
kasi napaka to ha. We're talking about billion of pesos ha. And yung pagbili mo ng system, o makipag-coordinate tayo sa DICT to correct the problem, kahit gumastos tayo ng 2 billion dyan sa system na yan, pero I surely doubt kung gagastos tayo ng billion for the system. Because we have the DICT and they can do that. Once na pumasok yung pera ng isang worker na overcollected siya, automatic hindi niya tatanggapin dapat. That is the system that we wanted for you to adopt. Otherwise, kung hindi ganun ang klase ng system nyo, ay yung mga opisyalis nyo, bay, mag-resign na kayo. Hindi ka dapat mag-stay dyan because this is a insurance policy. And these are payment of the Filipino people given to us, PhilHealth. And we have the responsibility to protect that money. One more thing.
You want to-
Yung reimbursement na binibigay natin, IRM, di ba po yan ay parang cash advance dati? DOJ, di ba? Cash advance. And in accordance with the rule of the procurement law, di ba? That yung cash advance is not mandated because this is the people's money. At pag people's money, we have to undergo a bidding process. Why do we have to give away that money that hindi dumadaan sa bidding process? Have you undergone a bidding process in identifying all the beneficiary of the IRM?
Honorable Fernandez, do you wish to ask Solgen the legal basis of the IRM? Yung IRM lang per se. Baka pwede natin ipa-explain kay Solgen Guevara. Hindi yung IRM as applied to COVID. Yung IRM prior to COVID. Yun ba ay pinag-aralan nyo na po at kinonsider nyo po ba yun na legal? Kasi nagsabi po kayo kanina, yung IRM under COVID, illegal.
Technically, yes, Madam Chairperson. Simply for the reason that the corresponding copies of the circular were not deposited with the owner.
Hindi yung as to the whether the concept is applicable. So hindi, it's a technicality.
Yes, for that particular circular. But, Your Honor, the matter has not been challenged. The idea of an advance payment has never been challenged before a court of law. Because we could surmise that from the point of view of the COA, an advance payment for goods or services which have not yet been delivered or rendered is in violation of the law. Because only goods that had been delivered or services that had been rendered should be paid out of the public treasury. Advance payment, Your Honor, is not actually allowed unless it's the President himself who will make that kind of exception because of the prevailing circumstances.
Yeah, that's highly debatable talaga, Madam Chair. I agree with the Secretary Guevara on that matter. On my point on the contract that we entered into, the government entered into a loan agreement, and you have submitted the 6 loan agreements that we just received today. And Madam Chair, kung titignan po natin yung mga loan agreements na sinabi nila, 6 loan agreements, and nag-start po tayo sa 71 billion. Tapos naging 129 billion. As I read it, meron po tayong 165 billion na utang na pinasok natin sa 6 loans agreement. Would you agree with this? Kasi kanina parang confused kami. Kasi nagsimula tayo sa 71 billion tapos naging 129 billion. So, eto hawak ko po ngayon yung sinabit nyo just this afternoon, this morning. So, kinategorize ko na po yung isa-isang 6 na agreements and it turned out na meron po tayong 165 billion na utang. Unang-una, Loan 1, loan number 9105. Meron po tayong, nag-start tayo noong April 28, 2020, $100 million. Loan 2, loan number 9328. December 29, 2021, nag-loan tayo ng $500 million and addition $300 million with a 3.7% interest annually. Loan 3, loan number 9220. Meron tayong $500 million at mag-i-start po tayo ng payment sa 2030. At pagdating po dito sa loan 4 ninyo, loan number 4050, meron po tayong $400 million na inutang noong March 19, 2021 and loan 5 noong December 20, 2021, loan number 555A na $300 million and $250 million with a 2.44% interest annually. And loan 6, loan number L0490 noong March 26, 2021 with the $400 million loans na mag-i-start po tayo magbayad ng 2033. And finally, loan 7, September 8, 2020, $125 million na magsisimula tayo magbayad ng 2049. Now, ang tanong po, tama po ba na ang utang po natin is 165 billion pesos?
sinong harap kay Honorable Dan Einstein Fernandez.
Hindi, nabasa ko lang.
Salamat at kinompute mo para sa
Kasi
DOH.
nagugulo na ako nina, Madam
Ako
Chair.
din, gulong-gulo na ako. Pero ang tanong is, nabawas mo na ba yung cancel? Pero kahit na ako, gulong-gulo ako dun sa ano ba talaga dyan na cancel. So, once and for all, mga kapatid sa DOH, magkano ba talagang utang natin?
Hindi, ako, Madam,
Please lang, once and for all.
Madam Chair, kung pagbabasihan itong sinabit nyo na hindi naman to galing sa amin, kundi galing sa inyo,
Oo, bakit pa tayo
at
nagkakagulo?
ito ay lumalabas sa 165 billion pesos with a different
Yes.
loan numbers, ha? 6 loan, different
So,
numbers,
sino
ha?
po ba ang sasagot?
Please answer.
So, iba-iba po kasi ang numbers na lumalabas. Perhaps, galing na mismo sa ating kalihim, Secretary Ted, para yung galing sa inyo, yun na talaga yung totoo.
Since we were not present during the loans, during time the loans were made, Madam Chair, we will consolidate and with the questions of our honorable representative from Santa
Wala po ba
Rosa,
tayong DBM or kaya Department of Finance that we have invited over?
We invited all
Kasi-
those who supposedly were part of the team that negotiated the loan,
Kasi kung
DOF,
isipin mo, Madam Chair, ang problem dito kasi, 165 billion na yung loan natin. Tapos, sa GAA, naglagay pa tayo ng 42 billion. So, yung 42 billion that we
Plus
put
pa yun.
in the Department of Health, iba pa po yun
Yes.
na nilagay po natin.
That is correct.
So, in other words, umaabot tayo ng 200 billion pesos. Almost ang nilagay natin pera for the... Walang problema po, walang problema. If this is correct, ang problem lang po, wag po natin siyang itago or wag po natin siyang gawing parang wala tayong alam na iba-iba po ang binabanggit po natin dito sa Kongreso. Because what we are after
Honorable
here...
Dan,
Yes.
1/3 of our vaccines nag-expire. So, ang
Exactly.
tanong nga is, ang dahilan ba dyan ay dahil nag-swimming naman tayo sa dami, diba? Yun yung tanong eh. So, tanungin natin gusto nyo, Honorable Dan Fernandez, si DOF representative ang tanungin natin or ang ating BTR representative. Director Tanya or ang ating Deputy Treasurer of the Philippines, Ed Marino. And COMSEC, kindly administer the oath, please.
Please state your name and position.
Ed Marino, representing the Bureau of the Treasury, Deputy Treasurer.
Tanya Rial, Director of Corporate Affairs Group of Department of Finance.
Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth in this committee meeting?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, you may be seated.
So, sino po sa inyo, is it our Deputy Treasurer or our representative from DOF who would have the information on the total amount of loans that we incurred during the pandemic?
Madam Chair, we would like to apologize. We don't have it yet with us. We have been requesting our staff to provide it. With your indulgence, once it's ready, can we submit? But if I
Sir,
may...
anong oras po kayo dumating dito sa hearing? Sir, nakita niyo naman na kanina pa natin pinagtatalunan ito, sir. Nagsalita na po si Honorable Pumarin kanina na na-frustrate na po siya sa inability ng ating resource persons to provide basic information.
Madam Chair,
Sir.
if I may,
Yes, sir.
may we invite our good secretary, our former colleague, if ever na he'll be available to shed light on this. Because this is a matter that need to be really discussed by us. Si Senator,
Si Secretary Ralph. At ayaw naman natin na-
Or maybe, Madam Chair, if I may, no? Na,
Our Secretary Benjo,
Oo,
no?
sulatan lang po natin
Kasi
para
ba yung
malaman.
DOF noon? Or sorry, si Secretary Carlos Dominguez.
Yes, oo, kasi siya
Actually, we
signatory.
invited him.
Siya ang signatory dito eh. I saw his signatures. But ang problem nga po dito, kung i-scrutinize mo lahat, andito rin po kung saan nila ilalagay dapat ang pera. And even the project manager and the project director that was mentioned in every loan agreement must be appointed by the Department of Health. Ang tanong ko kay Secretary, wala si Secretary. Secretary, have you gone into trying to find out a project director or project manager that will be monitoring the different loans that we have gotten? Kasi nakalagay dito sa mga loans ninyo eh. Meron tayong appointment ng mga project director and project manager.
Yes, Madam Chair. In fact, I had a meeting with the Secretary of Finance regarding all our foreign loans, parang pinapamatch. And then I've also asked the help of the World Health Organization to monitor the loans because the loans and the grants are different cycles, financing cycles. So ang gulo talaga i-follow. Kahit kung kayo ma'am nalilito, ako rin nalilito as head of agency. So nagpatulong ako to create an oversight through experts in finance para mabantayan yung alin yung nag-umpisa, kailan matatapos, alin ang babayaran, ano yung mga
And that's the
loans.
reason why, Secretary, that's the reason why in the loan agreement, it is specified clearly on provision of every loan that there must be a project director and project manager for you to find out kung ano na estado ng loan at ano estado ng implementation. Yun ang sinasabi ng mga loans. Binasa ko nga briefly, pero yun ang nakita ko agad. So, Madam Chair, siguro dito lamang sa 6 na loans na to na binigay nila, I will be submitting this to you, Madam Chair, para malaman po natin total na inutang po natin. And finally, tapos na po ako, Madam Chair, tatanungin ko po si Secretary. Secretary, I know that you came from Geneva, Switzerland. This is a offshoot of the different issue that this representation wanted to be clarified. So, yung nangyari pong WHO or World Health Assembly 77, that 194 state members attended, no? And our position is to approve the international health regulation, no? Yung IHR po natin, that amendments, meron pong amendments doon yung period of the rejection of the 307 amendments, and afterwards yung pong implementation that will be reducted from 24 months to 12 months. So basically, sa World Health Assembly that was conducted from May 27 to June 1, naaprubahan po ang IHR. Am I right?
The IHR is a standing international treaty po.
But there was an amendments.
Amendments po ang naaprubahan.
Correct.
So the
I know.
IHR is a 2005, the latest is 2000, it was 1700s pa yung unang IHR.
Yes.
Pero itong IHR na current is 2005 at itong major amendments lang naman na na-approve in the 77 World Health Assemblies. Number 1, yung inclusion of the term pandemic emergency in its definition, kailan may pandemic emergency. And number 2, the concept of solidarity and equity for medical products in times of a pandemic emergency. Yun lang po. All the others, parang hindi yun na-approve. But the
Mr.
two main
Secretary.
amendments were actually
Wait,
approved.
Mr. Secretary. Are you trying to tell this representation that the amendments on the international health regulation that was adopted in the World Health Assembly on 2022, yung pong World Health Assembly 76, we're not talking about the 75. No. Oo po, kasi that was adopted. Adopted po yung
So you're talking,
amendments.
I'm talking about the one I recently attended.
Yes, the 77.
Okay.
But the 75, doon po nag-start yung adoption ng international health regulation. Well, actually, yun yung pinag-uusapan din namin po sa hearing during that time. But nevertheless, you have to find it out, no, that amendments, 2 important amendments, Article 55, that was amended and was ratified during the Geneva Convention. Ang tinatanong ko po, yung buong pandemic treaty, approve na tayo, IHR. Wala na tayong magagawa doon, approve na po yun. Yung pandemic treaty, the 307 amendments, was that ratified in
No.
Geneva? Yan.
No.
Okay. So, lastly, Madam Chair, kasi very crucial po to kasi hindi ko po naiimbitahan si Secretary Herbosa sa hearing ko po But ito pong very crucial po to kasi itong itatanong ko po sa inyo. Yung pandemic treaty po is ang WHO, binibigyan po natin ng kapangyarihan to sabihin nila kung anong klaseng kung may pandemic tayo, kung ila-lockdown tayo, kung ang vaccine na padadala sa atin, this will be the vaccine that will be given to the different member states. So, ito pong pandemic treaty per se, naaaprubahan po ng WHO at hindi po inaprubahan ngayon, but certainly it will, no, in the next several months will pass through the Senate of the Philippines. Yun po ang tanong ko.
That's correct. For all international treaties that the government of the Philippines signs, it requires ratification after about a year. May period of ratification, and that power is given to our Senate for all foreign treaties.
And I will take your word for that, Mr. Secretary, because
It's in our constitution,
Yes, I know.
Madam Chair.
Because what they're doing right now in the WHO and W Health Assembly is to turn around the word treaty, and they're trying to make it as an agreement, not as a treaty, for them to have a controlling power, not passing through the treaty word. So you have
Hindi
to
po.
be wary about it, sir.
Hindi po. It can be called an accord, an agreement, or a treaty, but it still has to be to follow the sovereign rules of the country, member states that are actually part of it. So if we do sign together with the DFA, it still goes to the Senate. And if the Senate says, hindi tayo kasali dyan, wala kaming magagawa.
I will thank you for that, Mr. Secretary, and that's the loveliest words that I heard during this committee hearing. Maraming salamat, and we are looking forward on working with you with this pandemic treaty. Maraming salamat at mabuhay ka po, Madam Chair.
Salamat. 5 minutes lang bago umalis si Secretary. Ako lang po, may tanong ako dun sa 47.6 billion fund transfer. So I would like to know how much of that was used for test kits. I asked this in the last hearing, so sana po na-compute nyo na po. I saw your breakdown, but I just wanted to confirm that number with you. Ay, ako si Kong Abalos. Ako, sorry, Kong Abalos. Fast lang, sorry. Okay.
Can I refer to Undersecretary Berhere, who used to head the test?
Yes,
Baka
please,
siya
Yusek Reyre. So dun po sa 47 billion, binigyan ko na po kayo ng homework last week. Hindi niyo po ginawa ang homework ninyo. So our Solgen is hereby dismissed. Thank you
May I
very much,
request permission
sir.
to leave,
Yes,
Your Honor,
sir.
because of
Thank you very
another
much.
conference
And
in the
to
office.
our
Thank you so
colleague, si Solgen will not be here next week and will be out of the country.
Yes, I'm sorry I cannot attend the next
Yes,
meeting
but we
of
will
the-
invite you to attend the next hearing, sir.
Sure.
All right. Thank you, sir.
My
Thank you very
pleasure.
much.
Thank you very
very much, sir. Yes, please, Yusek.
Yes, good afternoon po, Madam Chair, and to all of the committee members. Magandang hapon po. Based on our data here, we have around 1.9 billion pesos that were spent for the procurement of different types of testing kits. And the rest, we also have RNA purification kits.
Ma'am, I will just interrupt you. Kasi dito po sa sinabmit niyo sa amin, it's at least 8.7 billion. So I will just interrupt you. It's at least. Kaya at least, dahil merong rows dito na hindi ko ma-disaggregate. So sabihin natin about 10 billion. So of the 47 billion, about 10 billion is for testing kits. So, okay, so ilang porsyento doon ang PCR tests? Is it mostly PCR? Kasi you did both, di ba? Rapid testing kits as well as PCR. So, kahit top of mind lang, Secretary Duque, do you remember like half and half? Majority PCR, majority rapid test kits?
My recollection, Madam Chair, is that predominantly ang testing was RT-PCR.
Okay, so predominantly.
Oho, yes,
So kung
yes.
sabihin na natin of the 47 billion, about 10 billion for test kits, predominantly PCR, RT-PCR. Okay, next question. Who administered those testing kits? So saan niyo po dinala po ang testing kits na yon? Yes, kayo po ang secretary nung time na yon, Sec Duque.
Alam ko yung mga test kits na yan, these were requested by the RITM.
Sa RATM po lahat yan?
Hindi, ang merong distribution list yan. I just can't recall ano yung listahan na yun. I think the DOH should know that, Madam Chair.
But sir, you were the secretary at
Yes,
that time,
yes.
sir.
Yes,
Sir,
but
you
this-
were very, very busy. I understand that managing the pandemic wasn't testing a big part of COVID management, sir. Hindi po ba? Abala tayo sa testing,
yes,
right? So,
I
I believe
agree.
you would understand. Kahit naman hindi naman po tayo humingi ng detalye, di ba, sir? Yung, alam niyo na po, yung very in broad terms, yan po ba ay dinodonate ninyo halimbawa sa LGUs?
I think that is correct. Yes.
Okay, so marami doon, dinonate ninyo sa LGUs. Tama?
I really can't say marami or anong
But you did.
quantities. But more or less, I think if
You did,
my
tama?
recollection.
Okay. So kaya ako tinatanong po yan is because, babalik tayo sa PhilHealth. PhilHealth, meron kayong COVID test package for donated test kits. Tama?
Madam Chairperson, that's correct, Madam Chairperson.
Which is about 1,200 pesos. Tama?
That's correct, Madam Chairperson.
So kung yung LGU ay accredited, nag-claim siya ng 1,200, tama?
Madam Chairperson, we have different rates, especially
Yeah,
when...
for those na
those
gumagamit na donated test
That's
kits,
correct.
1,200. So, sir, you were Secretary of Health. So parang, what were you thinking? I mean, on one hand, umutan tayo ng sobrang laki. Na, at ginamit natin yung utang na yan, pambili ng testing kits, at talaga naniniwala naman tayo na talaga napaka-importante nun, at pinamigay natin some of those to LGUs, and then those LGUs in turn, actually yung LGUs kasi, ang nag-a-administer dapat nun would be salaried employees, tama po? I mean, who can answer? Most likely, hindi ba? Tama po. Sino? Sumugat naman po kayo sa akin. Yes, Yusek Pereira.
Yes, Madam Chair. During the time that we were discussing about the PhilHealth...
No, sagutin niyo
Yes,
muna ako.
yes,
Tama
Madam
po?
Chair.
Most likely.
Most likely, but other local governments were able to hire additional for their laboratories because these were additional services during the time of the COVID-19 pandemic.
So, some hired, pero some sweldadong
Yeah.
existing
Yes, Madam
salaried
Chair.
workers. So,
Yes,
it's a
Madam
mix.
Chair. Yes, Madam
Okay.
Chair.
So, that's the reason for why... So, yun ang tanong ko, di ba? So, pero on the other hand, itong LGUs na to, nag-claim pa rin ng 1,200 per test. So, pwede ba natin malaman sa PhilHealth kung magkano yung ginastos ninyo kabuuan sa mga LGUs na to na tumanggap ng donated test kits? Yung kabuuan, ha? Kasi binigay ko rin po ito sa inyo na homework, hindi po ba? Kung pwede sana
Madam-
tignan ninyo yung
Madam-
distribution. Kasi ngayon na natapos na nga yung pandemic, tinitignan natin, ini-evaluate natin kung paano ba natin ginamit yung pera natin, di ba?
Madam Chair.
Yes, Honorable
During
Gail.
the previous hearing, I made a motion for PhilHealth to submit a list of all the institutions, government and
Correct.
private, who availed of COVID
Correct.
testing reimbursement,
Correct.
the amount of per test,
Absolutely.
and the total amount from the time it was implemented. May I inquire from the Secretariat if this was complied?
Comsec? Hindi pa.
So maybe, Madam Chair, we can ask PhilHealth, how long will it take them
No,
to comply
baka naman
with such?
kinocompute na nila. So, would you have this information, sir? Kasi, okay, let's start with the total. So, yung total claims meron, di ba? Nabigay nyo sa amin kung magkano yung total na naibayad ninyo for COVID tests. And then sinabi po namin, can you give us yung breakdown? Yung para sa donated test kits, magkano po ang ni-reimburse ng PhilHealth? And then, you break that down further into public and private. Yes, sir.
Madam Chairperson, as to the total amount paid for donated testing kits from 2020 to 2024, PhilHealth paid 579 million pesos. Madam Chairperson, Honorable Representative Garin. Madam Chairperson, if I may.
Hold on. That's the total amount that PhilHealth paid for the entire pandemic?
Madam
Yes, sir.
Chairperson, this amount only covers those kits that were donated, Madam Chairperson.
Yeah, so under yung package A. Kasi there's package ABC, di ba?
Madam Chairperson, we have 3 packages.
Yes po, yung ABC.
One is for if all services and supplies for the testing are procured and provided by the testing laboratory, that's 2,800 pesos. If test kits are donated to the testing
Yes, so
laboratory,
that's
that's
package
1,000.
B.
That's correct, Madam Chairperson.
This is package B. So 579 million
Yes, Madam Chairperson.
so far to date. Is that correct, sir? So, yes, sir.
Madam Chairperson, may I be allowed to correct myself, Madam Chairperson?
Yes, sir.
So the amount that I was mentioning a while ago, Madam Chairperson, pertains to the third category of testing reimbursement or package, Madam Chairperson, when test kits are donated to the testing laboratory, cost of running the laboratory and the RT-PCR machine for testing are subsidized by the government. Our package is 800 pesos,
Yes,
Madam
okay, this is
Chairperson.
579M.
That's
What
correct,
about
Madam
for
Chairperson.
package B?
For package B, which covers the amount of the package is 1,200. The total amount,
Pero donated din yan.
yes, Madam
Sige,
Chairperson.
sir.
The total amount reimbursed from 2020 to 2024 is 3.6 billion, Madam Chairperson.
3.6 billion. Okay. And would you know ilang porsyento dyan ang sa public?
Madam Chairperson, at present, we do not have that data yet, but we will submit to the Honorable Committee the data, Madam Chairperson.
Okay, sir. Anyway, my point being, parang pinagplanuhan ba natin itong paggastos at paggastos ng 47 billion fund at paggamit ng pinambili natin ng 47 billion such that gagamitin talaga natin ang pondo na yan efficiently. Katulad nga nito, di ba? So, kasi in a situation where umutang ka ng pera tapos idodonate mo yung test kits na yan sa LGU, tapos yung LGU na yan ay sisingel sa PhilHealth, ang tanong is, saan nila ginamit yung pera? Kasi ultimately, PhilHealth has the responsibility to monitor the use of that fund because dapat pumasok yan sa Special Health Fund. So, yun ang tanong ko, di ba? In the end, yun ang question para sa PhilHealth, pero katulad ng nalaman natin dun sa last week's hearing, unfortunately, hindi pa natin alam ang sagot. Kaya may 2 minutes pa, umalis na si Kong Abalos. So at this point, we dismiss, yes, sir, have a safe flight, sir, and ASEC, Domingo, and team, thank you very much.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
kasi meron siyang flight.
Yeah, very quickly, Madam Chair, before Secretary Bossa leaves. We just want to take this out of our minds. We actually asked this last we actually asked this last hearing. Sec Duque, when you became Secretary of Health during the previous administration, comebacking po kayo, di ba? It was your second time.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Madam Chairman.
Yeah. And in the several years that you have been with PhilHealth or with DOH, with PhilHealth as the Civil Service Commissioner, did you ever recall, now just to put things straight, did you ever recall transferring funds to other government agencies that are not within the DOH umbrella?
I think PITC was one of the recipients of fund transfers. So that is the answer. And I'm not sure what other
Basically,
agencies.
PITC and PSDBM.
PSDBM, Your Honor.
Secretary Herbosa, can you confirm this? No, na talaga namang naglilipat ng pondo ang DOH sa PITC at PSDBM.
Yeah, I confirm, Madam Chair.
And we also transfer funds to GOCCs, like Heart Center, Lung Center, PCMC.
I confirm, Madam Chair.
Yeah.
It's part of the budget. Your
No. I'm referring to those that budget, basically savings. Okay. Will you confirm that when DOH transfer funds, these are usually savings? Di ba? Pag naglilipat ng pondo, ito ay dahil savings? Can you appraise this committee? What are the circumstances when the Department of Health transfer funds?
One is when you use the back of that particular unit of the department, you transfer the funds needed for the procurement. One is if it's requested by that particular unit, additional funds for supplemental for whatever.
What are the usual circumstances? Ano po ba ang nangyayari? Ba't natin nililipat? That was actually answered by DOH also before. I mean, the previous hearing.
Usually pag kulang yung funds nung, let's say, nung hospital, magre-request na additional to procure additional medicines, for example.
Will you confirm when we say the usual reason that we transfer funds to either GOCCs or procurement entities like PITC and PSDBM is when funds are expiring? yung savings natin na...
That has been one of the reasons, Madam
Yeah.
Chair.
Can you confirm that it's the major reason?
I don't know now if it's the major reason because I
Well,
remember.
in your experience as Undersecretary of Health.
Yes, when I was Undersecretary, that was the practice.
Yeah.
In fact, until the Senate castigated the executive agencies for doing this.
Regarding what? Which
During
one?
the time of Senator Drilon, he had a
Yeah,
blue
but-
ribbon and said there were about 7 billion of budget at the PITC, which was nakapart.
Depending.
No, which
Yeah,
is part
okay.
of-
So, is it safe to say that usually naglilipat ka kasi either hindi na mabibid or yung pera kasi marirevert sa National Treasury? Di ba parang ayaw mong ibigay sa National Treasury because it will be an injustice to public health?
I confirm that. ma'am.
Yeah. So in your experience with the Department of Health, what I'm seeing kasi the 47.6 billion was transferred in the first quarter of 2020. First quarter of 2020. So is this a regular thing?
Hindi ko alam, ma'am, because that was a different condition and there was an emergency. So
Yeah, in your
hindi ko alam
experience.
hindi ko alam yung circumstances. But normally, this is done in the last quarter of the year.
Yeah, so it's not usual to transfer funds during the first quarter of the year because the first quarter of the year is actually the procurement time.
Yeah,
ng
early
DOH.
procurement activities, we call it. Yeah.
Yeah. So my question to Secretary Duque, Sec, first quarter of the year naglipat ng 47.6 billion ang DOH to PSDBM. Bakit? Marirevert ba siya? In your experience before, not during the Duterte administration, when you were Secretary of Health during the GMA Arroyo administration, was this practiced even in a single instance?
Let me recall. If there was the need for essential goods and services, I would surmise that
Yeah, but can you remember, Sec, during your tenure?
parang
Meron ba?
meron. I think so. Yung parking ng funds,
No, I'm not referring to parking of funds. So let me reiterate my question. When you were Secretary of Health during the Arroyo administration, was there an instance where you transferred a huge amount to a procurement entity in the first quarter of the year? Yes or no lang kung pwede, or you can check if you like.
yeah, can,
Yeah.
can I check?
So with that, Madam Chair, may I request the Department of Health to look into your records and check whether a similar situation was done. Because the answer of the DOH officials who were with the DOH 16 years and 31 years of service during the previous administration, they can't recall such a practice.
We'll do that, Madam Chair. We will check the records of the DOH.
Yeah, just to point out, Madam Chair, Your Honors, na para lang kasi nakita ko kasi yung audit report eh. I saw the audit report and to give justice to the career officials who have been dragged into this investigation na hindi naman nila ginagawa yung dati, ginawa lang yung itong recent. So can the Secretary?
Yes.
Yes, Madam Chair, we will submit.
And with that, we will allow Secretary.
Umani naman ito ng iba't ibang reaksyon mula sa ating mga netizens. Ayon kay John Evan Velasquez, halos lahat ng ahensya ng gobyerno mula sa barangay hanggang sa presidente may corruption nangyayari, kawawa talaga ang Pinas. Pahayag naman ni Maricar Quinto, grabe korupsyon na yan, makulong sana ang mga sangkot dito at sana may malinaw na resulta ang hearing nato. At ito naman ang saloobin mula sa ating kababayan na si Alfred para, sabuatan na naman yan ng mga nakaupo sa ahensya ng ating gobyerno. Kawawa na naman ang taong bayan, tayo ang magbabayad na di naman natin napakinabangan. Mga kababayan, feel free to comment below para maglabas ng saloobin sa balitang ito.